All right, I'll try to do it the best as I can, though I'm not very um, video enthusiast. But um, what I'm trying to explain here is actually showcase what I've examined in the previous videos about different kinds of stone bits, and they were all quite disappointing and meeting a new type, which actually changed the whole scene for me. And I actually highly recommended it. And I have the same, uh, you can see 730 seconds, which is 5.5 millimeters on the high-speed rotary tool, pneumatic, and a simple drill that runs at about 1500 revolutions per minute, or RPM, top speed. And this one is top speed, if I remember correctly, it's 5 digits. It's about 10, 11 max. Let's say 10, okay? Let's say 10,000 RPMs about, and it's way too much. But if you have the I don't know, sensitivity. If you have the sensitivity in your hand, then you could play with it and use just a bunch of thousands. And you still have to be very careful, because if you use a very poor stone, not that it will break, but they shut themselves, like the surface of the stone gets clogged. And when that happens, the stone actually overheats the tooth of the chainsaw. And what happens with the archer is that they don't clog. They don't clog. They maintain shape, and they don't fall apart. They don't break like all these. So I'm going to try and demonstrate, since not everything I explained previously was quite clear. So I'm going to try and show you with one-handed, just for the example, and that will be just a bit about the whole picture. So it's better than nothing, I guess. So this chain met a few stones and gravel, and it's done. No idea if you can see it. I'm going to try and focus. No good. Oh, this is much better. So I'll unbreak the steel 066, which is late edition, which is identical to the MS660, which I've rebuilt. No, I just built it from the bottom up, from scratch. Sorry, I just collected old and used parts and built it using an Italian piston. All the rest is original. So I already marked this with a lacquer marker, and let's start with the slower option. Of course, you want the stone to move forward, so there won't be any how do you call that? Particles? I forgot, sorry. I haven't used this glossary in a while, quite a while. So you want to maintain the angle which you have an assistance right here. You have a marking. Sorry about the focusing. I'm really sorry. Oh, there you go. So you have the marking, which is, I don't know, it seems quite sharper than the angle it should be, but whatever. Specs tell that you have to do -10 degrees, which is, if you hold this as 0, and this is around 10 degrees low. So I'm quite used to it already, so now using a drill that slow is a compromise, because if you're in your workshop and you have better tools for this, you might want to reconsider your precious time like this. So this is max speed. I just let my thumb sit right here against the body, and I can easily control the RPM, the speed. Unlike this, when I hold my thumb against the body, that lets me control the speed much easier. Break. Now the chain is busted, so I mean, not busted, but it's worn, so I'll have to run this a few times. I do not stay for too long to avoid overheating. And when it's overheating, you could see the metal be turning blue or black. I do recommend doing this procedure without stalling for too long. And if it's not enough, you could run the chain all over again. Do another loop. Oh, and by the way, these materials are not fuel, so they're not flammable. Safety first. And just for the demonstration, I did only one side. When I have two hands and I'm more fluent, I do both sides. And again, now, as I did with this, like drop 10 degrees, when I do the other side, the drop becomes a lift with my hand. But for the tooth, this is a drop 10. This is 0, drop 10, 0, drop 10. I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus on both things, the shooting and the work. Of course, later on, I will use the raker's tool, raker height tool. That's pretty much okay. They don't seem to need a grind down. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but they don't need any treatment. They're quite good. So, like I mentioned before in previous videos, as soon as I get my hands on a portable tool, wireless, working on battery, like this one, which is very nice, tucked in the handle like this. You don't need too much. You got two batteries and one charger. One's working and the other one is charging, so I don't need much power, just speed. So as soon as I get my hands on a faster tool, like a rotary tool like this with a battery, rechargeable battery, then I'm gonna drop this and drop that for grinding my stuff. And as for products, steel, sorry, goodbye, Oregon, and Oregon New Edition, nice, but no thank you. For me, just Archer, Australia. You guys are great.